Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it was just too good to last. So I've got a couple news stories today. The first one is Canada. Starting on July 19th, coming up very shortly in a few days, we have Canada will now be instituting that random COVID test policy again for anybody arriving in Canada. Now, what's going to happen is once you go through customs and arrival, you will get an email within 15 minutes stating whether or not you are one of those lucky chosen people to do the random test. It will give you a location in the area you're going to go in and get your test done, or it'll explain to you how to get a random test. Some airports will be handing out those viral tests as you walk out of the airport. But again, once you do the test, you must do it immediately at your first stop, whether it be a hotel that evening, your parents' place, wherever you're going, you're going to have to do that test. And if you test positive, you must then quarantine for 10 days, not 5, like most of the rest of the world, 10 days, which again puts into perspective anyone heading down to cruise, say in Vancouver, for an Alaskan cruise. You now run the risk of testing positive when you arrive on a random test in Canada and missing your cruise and having to quarantine and pay for the price of 10 days. Unless you just turn around and jump on another plane and head back, because they don't ask for tests on your way back. But that will be probably attached to your passport as a declaration when you are asked to take a test, and your results will probably be attached to your passport. So I don't even know if you could turn around and fly back. But again, as of the 19th, that's a thing again in Canada. While the rest of the world seems to be getting rid of random testing and spot testing, Canada just seems to want to hang on and cause as much trouble with the tourism industry as they can. And speaking of trouble in Alaska, we now have another cruise ship from another cruise line that seems to have run into trouble in Alaska. This time it's Holland America's Westerdam appears to have trouble with one of its Enzipods in Glacier Bay, I think it was, is when they started to have issues with it. They ended up skipping one cruise port and headed to Sitka at a reduced speed. It had a lot of problems with forward momentum. Holland America is flying in experts to take a look in Sitka at the problem, but this may become an ongoing issue. I'm not sure yet. Remember, iceberg, it's only going to be a couple days, and it turned out to be 3 weeks. Who knows how long this one. We have the cruise ship with Royal Caribbean, who's had her engine problems. We had one of the Princess cruises with their problems. Carnival had problems. Norwegian had problems. Everybody seems to have some ships out there that just are having a hard time getting the parts and getting repairs done in a timely manner because of the situation in the world right now. So yeah, we have another situation where another ship in Alaska, it always seems to be Alaska lately, that's running into problems. So if you happen to be on the Westerdam coming up on an upcoming cruise within the next few weeks, keep an ear open, because your itineraries may be changing drastically or canceled altogether depending on the extent of the damage, if any at all. Maybe just something got into it, it had to be cleared out. Who knows? We'll find out more in the next coming days. And finally, on some cruises, expedition cruises, are running into some problems. As you all, if you don't know, expedition cruises can be very expensive. Sometimes double, triple, quadruple what an average cruise would be, depending on the location you're going to, like the Galapagos Islands, Antarctica, places like that. These smaller ships that get you in closer, more personable, those are going to cost you some money. And a lot of people who are heading up into the Arctic Circle area just found out there's a airline pilot strike this week that started, and all their flights are canceled. So not only are people having a hard time getting to the expedition ports to get on their cruise, that people are stuck when they get back and can't get out. There's only one airline currently flying right now, Norwegian airline, and there's just not enough seats available for the amount of passengers going by. Now, some passengers were very, very lucky because Mein Schiff 3 happened to be stopping in that port, and over 100 passengers got on that ship and were brought to a main hub where they can fly out with more airlines. But other than that, people are saying that most of those expedition cruises are sailing with barely any passengers on them because people can't get there because of the pilot strike that's going on right now in that area. It just seems like if it's not one thing, it's another for cruisers, from the pandemic to shutting down to now we have, lo and behold, a pilot strike and lost luggage and not enough capacity in airlines, etc., etc., etc. It just seems to be bang, 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 something going on. And those expedition cruises are, like I said, you book those well in advance often. Some good news though for local people, the local people in the area that could get to this cruise port, they've been offered, really reduced rates to go on some of these cruises, and a lot of them are taking advantage of that. Now, what happens to your cruise, your refund, and all that? I guess it depends on which cruise line you're with and what the current policy is, because it's another situation that we have to guide ourselves through, the landmine that is slowly and quickly becoming travel in 2022. Slowly and quickly, does that make sense? If you know what I mean? The slowness of the travel opening up and the quickness of things shutting down. It just seems to be very, very all over the place, and it doesn't seem like any section of the cruise life or travel life is safe and smooth right now. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.